What's up everyone, MeJP2 here, and in today's video, we have the return of my level 51 Gligar into the Ultra League. Now, Gligar, it used to be good with Wing Attack, and then Wing Attack got nerfed, and Gligar kind of fell off a bit, but with the buff to Fury Cutter making it essentially a Psywave clone, although it's Bug type, and I think Bug is a bit worse of a typing than Psychic, but it's still a pretty good move, especially when it's got the same stats as Psywave. So, Gligar certainly back in the Great League, so I wanted to see if Gligar in the Ultra League could also perform well now. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Paired it up with Gliscor, with pretty similar moveset with Fury Cutter and then a ground move, although it is on Night Slash instead of Aerial Ace. And then on the lead, I have Dragalge. So, let's get to the battles. Into the first battle, and we lead Dragalge into Guzzlord. This is not that good of a lead just because of the fact that we're on Acid instead of Dragon Tail. I'm going to safe switch Gliscor, opponent responds with Feraligatr. It's good to see it here, need to bait it out, so. They go for Hydro, doesn't take me out, and I'm going to, I think, make it to 2 Night Slashes. Night Slash number 1 does not get shielded, and I'm going to go for second Night Slash. This Night Slash doesn't get shielded either, and now Dragalge should hopefully be able to just farm him down. This, I think, is an Ice Beam, so I'm going to shield. They have no reason to bait here. It is an Ice Beam, and we're going to get a nice farm down. They send out Guzzlord. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail bait, see if they can shield it, and then we can get even shields. They do shield it, and now I'm just going to go for an Outrage. This will either get Gligar a shield advantage, or just take out the Guzzlord. Oh, or they can live it. That's fine, too. Regardless, I'll get one Fury Cutter advantage with Gligar. And now let's see what the opponent has in the back, and it's Registeel. This is a classic Great League matchup where Gligar would just destroy Registeel. It's one of the main reasons Registeel fell off, actually. So now we can see that matchup in the Ultra League. Dig does a decent amount of damage. Focus Blast does not do that much. They'd need 2 to take me out, and I think they need more than 2. They can't lock on me down. They need to go for 3. But we're able to take that game as they concede. In the next battle, we see Galarian Weezing. This, despite being a Fairy type into a Dragon type, isn't terrible. The opponent goes for a Sludge. They must be on Sludge Overheat or something, considering the fact that Brutal Swing would be a lot better of an idea to throw there. And they are on Overheat. Opponent then proceeds to send out Dragalge, and I think I would get taken out by this, so I do shield the Aqua Tail. Now I'm going to go for a Night Slash bait. I'm hoping I can make it to an Earthquake before they make it to another Aqua Tail. They shield, and I do make it to an Earthquake. Now I'll be able to get both shields if they want to keep their Dragalge. Actually, no, Dragalge does live it, but that does huge damage. Now the opponent, they're going to Aqua Tail me. That'll take me out. I'm just going to send out my own Dragalge. I try to go for 1 in the Aqua Tail because there's no way I lose CMP, but we get 1 turn, which is very nice. I have to give up a shield because I don't know if that was an Outrage or not. I think I did not remember how much energy they were on. But regardless, I do have to give up a shield because of 1 turn, very nice. And now, the Galarian Weezing, they will not even go for a move here. I'm going to make it to another Aqua Tail. They have to shield us if they want to keep the energy, and they do. Now, they can go for a move here. They're on Sludge and Overheat, though, so neither move will take me out. Overheat will come close, and then back, the opponent has Obstagoon. Now, Obstagoon, it's going to take super effective from Fury Cutter, which is very nice. Opponent goes for a Night Slash, no boost, thankfully. I'm going to go for Dig here. Dig is slightly more energy efficient. I think it's like 0.03 more damage per energy, but regardless, it's a better move. Opponent goes for an Obstruct. If they're going to go for an Obstruct, they would have wanted to go for that before they go for the Night Slash, just because boosting your defense earlier is better. I guess his opponent doesn't know that, and 2 Aerial Aces will take him out. And their Dragalge should be low enough where I can probably farm him down. Sorry, not the Dragalge, sorry, the Weezing, and also I don't farm them down. But Sludge will take me out because of the defense debuff, but we have an Aqua Tail on Dragalge, so we'll be able to take him out with this Aqua Tail and win the game. We see Drapion on the lead in the next battle. This, bit of an interesting lead. They can go for Crunch. Crunch will hit for a lot of damage. And I'm just going to catch on the Gliscor. Crunch, hopefully we don't get debuffed, and we don't. Opponent responds with Golurk, which is by no means a response to Gliscor. Mud Slap is resisted, and we just can hit them for a lot of damage with Night Slash. Opponent's going to go for a move here. Nothing they have here should take me out. Shadow Punch will do some nice damage, but we're not going to get taken out, and we're not going to get farmed down anytime soon. Night Slash takes him out. The opponent sends out Venusaur. Now, Venusaur, it's Decent matchup for Gligar, but it's a significantly better matchup for Dragalge than it is for Gligar. Turn on Do Not Disturb there, that's why I dropped down that menu thing. Opponent, it's going to go for a move here, Frenzy Plant or Sludge Bomb. Will not do much. The opponent sends back out Drapion. Now Drapion, I'm just going to hit it with an Outrage, see how much that does. Does a decent amount of damage, and I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. This won't take him out. They're not that low. And I'm just going to tank the move on Dragalge. Opponent's going to go for a Crunch. I'm just going to send out Gligar. Gligar gets a very nice farm down, so now we just have a huge energy advantage. Opponent's going to go for a move here. Unless they're on Solar Beam, I don't think anything they have takes me out. And honestly, Solar Beam might not even take me out. I'm going to go for an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace will not take him out, but it'll do a decent amount of damage. The opponent, they might just recognize the game's over at this point, so hopefully they let this go, save some time, and they do, and we take that game. We see Abomasnow on the lead in the next battle. Now, one huge oversight that I made when I was making this team was that the entire team is weak to Ice. So yeah, if you see an Ice type, it's really hard to win. Thankfully, Abomasnow is weak to Poison, so there is some counterplay because we're both hitting each other for super effective. Opponent shields the Aqua Tail, and I cannot tank Powder Snows on other Pokemon, so I'm going to just have to stay in with Dragalge. Now, they send in their own Dragalge. We're going to Outrage them. Now, I'm going to try and farm up a bit more. I was trying to catch an Outrage there, but the opponent doesn't fall for it. Now, they're going to be able to Aqua Tail my Gliscor. Now, I think 2 Aqua Tails will take me out, considering the extra acid damage in between. And I think it will, yeah. So I'm definitely in Aqua Tail range here. So I think Gligar will have to clean up this match by itself. Actually, no, we have Dragalge, forgot about that. So, Dragalge, I'm going to farm up as much as I can, and then go for an Outrage. Outrage will take them out, and they send back out Abomasnow. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. This won't take him out, but it'll deal enough damage to where they have to throw a move here. And hopefully Gligar, with a couple Fury Cutters, will be able to deal with whatever they have in the back. In the back, they have Tentacruel, though, and I don't think we're going to be able to win this. Dig just doesn't do enough damage here to two-shot him, and Fury Cutter cannot make up that damage difference. So they're going to go for a move here. It's a Blizzard, it takes me out, but even if they were on like Acid Spray and Scald, they'd make 2 Scalds before I was able to make enough digs to take him out, so we do lose that game. A very good matchup in the next battle as we lead into a Virizion. The opponent safe switches Belly Bolt. Now if I had something like a Steelix or really any ground type, they basically lose on the spot. And yeah, so having Gliscor here is nice. But also Gliscor, it's also a flying type, so it's only single resistant to electric, where most ground types would be double resistant. Like if I had a Steelix, this game is immediately over. But Belly Bolt, it's able to do okay in a Gliscor. I'll be able to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash will hit for some nice damage. They have buffed their defense, and hopefully with the extra Fury Cutter damage I got there, another Night Slash will take him out. And it does. Opponent sends out a Samurott. This, we're going to be able to go for a Night Slash into him. I don't think that I'm at enough for an Earthquake, so we'll see if they're counting, and they are. Get the Night Slash boost, though, which is nice, and now I'll be able to go for a Night Slash, and that'll get a shield from them now. They're in half health, and they're going to go for a move here. Dragalge, I think it tanks a Hydro Cannon. Oh, okay. That works too. Gligar should hopefully be able to take care of this game. They're going to go for a move. Should just be a Hydro. And now the opponent, they're going to send back out the Virizion. Now, Virizion has a move here, but it's not going to do as much as a Hydro Cannon would, so shielding here is just a straight up misplay. That's why I don't. And now I'm going to go for an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace, it's double super effective. It won't take him out, but it'll hit for a lot of damage. I'm going to throw on Optimal Timing, go for another Aerial Ace. The opponent does decide to let it go. Now they're going to send out their own Samurott, but I have a pretty big energy advantage. I'll be able to make the 2 Aerial Aces before they make it to 2 Hydros, so they just let one go, and we take that game. In the next battle, we see a somewhat positive lead of Dragalge versus Greninja. Now, I do say slightly positive because we resist Water Shuriken, but at the same time, they resist Aqua Tail, so it's kind of a baiting game. Night Slash will certainly add up over time, especially if they get a boost, and as you can see, I think 3 Night Slashes will be able to KO. Here comes the second, I'm not going to shield it, and now the opponent tries to make a catch on a Skeledirge. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will hit for some nice super effective damage. Now I'm going to send out Gliscor. Now Gliscor, I'll be able to make it to a Night Slash. This won't take him out. Opponent, I think they know that though. They do, and now they're going to be able to go for a move. No move they have should take me out here. Shadow Ball will hit for a good amount of damage, don't get me wrong, it just won't take me out. Now, I proceed to forget that it's 2 to the next disarming voice, and so yeah, I have to give up a shield there, and now I'm going to go for a Night Slash. The opponent probably should let this go, and they do. They send out Greninja, and I'm going to be able to go for a Night Slash. This is enough energy for an Aerial Ace, so the opponent does decide to commit a shield. Now I'll send in Dragalge. This Night Slash would take me out, and I have a lot of energy I don't want to lose. The opponent sends out Virizion. Now Virizion, Gligar is going to be able to do pretty well into it. I'm going to be able to tank 2 Leaf Blades, and I'll be able to go for an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace will hit for double super effective, we've seen, does a ton of damage, and I don't think they're in farm down range, unfortunately, but I'll try and farm up as much as I can before I throw the next move. Actually, I don't. I'm going to go for an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace will be able to take them out from this range. They shouldn't be shielding. They're going to send out Greninja, and I'm going to be able to go for an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will get a shield, and I will lose CMP on the next one, but that's fine. Gligar should only be 1 off, so as long as I get 0 turn bring in, I'll be able to make it. Yeah, we lose because of a 1 turn bring in there. Very well put together game. I'm going to immediately save switch Gliscor into this Gallade lead, see if they have something in the back that Gligar wouldn't want to see, so we can hopefully bait it out. Opponent is staying in though. They go for a Leaf Blade, and I'll be able to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash will deal some okay damage, and the opponent does commit a shield. I'll be able to make it to another Night Slash before they throw another Leaf Blade, and this won't take him out, but it'll deal some pretty good damage. Opponent gonna go for another move here. I'm just gonna let it go. I don't think a Leaf Blade will take me out from this range. It doesn't, and I should be able to make it to another Slash. I lose CMP, and at this point I'm actually just fine to let this go. Got a shield advantage and took out the majority of their Gallade. Get 2 Acid head start on my Dragalge. Now let's see what they bring in. They send out a Hex Skeledirge, which is certainly an interesting Pokemon, and it got access to Hex this season. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. Not going to take him out, and I'm going to go for another Aqua Tail. This still will not take him out, but it'll get him pretty low. The opponent still farming. Now they're going to go for a move. They still probably shouldn't take me out with any move. They Blast Burn me for some reason. And now, going to shield this Blast Burn. I'll be able to farm down. They should immediately switch out, and they do. They send out Belly Bolt. Now, having access to Dig on Gligar will make this matchup pretty nice. They're going to go for a Parabolic Charge, buff up their defense, and I go for a pretty stupid bait here. They're not going to shield this, since they have a defense buff already. Aerial Ace does basically nothing, and now they're going to go for another Parabolic Charge. At this point, I'm just fine letting it go. I'll be able to make it to a Dig. Dig will hit for some nice super effective damage, although their defense is double buffed now, so it doesn't do that much. I make it to another Aerial Ace, and the opponent hopefully will think this is a Dig, but I doubt they'll shield it. I stand corrected, and we get 1 turn bring in again. Very fun. Parabolic Charge, gonna buff their defense. I'm gonna have to Outrage at this point, because Aqua Tail will not take him out now that their defense is 3 times buffed. Gonna be able to take him out though. Skeledirge does not make a move, and we're able to take that game. We see Shadow Samurott on the lead in the next battle. Pretty good lead. They should be fully walled unless they're on Blizzard like the previous Samurott. And I'm going to let this move go. Hydro Cannon will hit for some okay damage. And the opponent, I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. They make a very nice catch on a Drapion though. And I'm just going to send out Gliscor. You could argue that Gligar is the better one to send out here because Dig is going to have better pacing than Earthquake. But honestly, I don't know if Dig would KO from this range. I get it's a Shadow Drapion, but this is also a level 50 Gligar, so I don't know. Opponent, they're going to go for another Aqua Tail. Not going to take me out, and I'm just going to go for a Night Slash bait. If they want Switch, they're probably going to feel inclined to shield here. They don't shield. I get a boost, though, which heavily inclines me to shield, because now I should be able to go for another Night Slash. This should take him out from this range, or come very close because of the boost. Opponent gets taken out, and now they send out Samurott. I'll be able to go for a Night Slash, though, and with the boost, this would actually be pretty threatening. They're able to commit a shield, and now I'll send out Dragalge. Opponent, they're going to go for a move. Hydro Cannon, we saw how much damage it did earlier. It won't take me out. It'll come close, though. I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail bait into them. I don't know if this is the smartest idea, but yeah, they no-shield it, and they're looking to go for a full farm down, so I'm just going to go for another Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will be able to get a shield, and I'm just going to send out Gligar immediately. I'm going to be able to shield this Hydro Cannon. Let's see what they have in the back. In the back, it's Superior. This is pretty good. Fury Cutter hits for some very nice super effective damage, and so does Aerial Ace. I think with the Fury Cutters and the Aerial Ace, we should be able to use 2 Aerial Aces to take him out. Frenzy Plant hits pretty hard. Of course, it's Frenzy Plant. And now I'm going to be able to go for another Aerial Ace. This should take out the Superior. And now, hopefully they don't have a move on the Samurott, So we're just going to catch that move. This game's over immediately after this catch. Hydro Cannon takes out Dragalge, but we have more health. We'd be able to farm down first, so we do take that game. Into the next battle, and we see Dragalge into Tapu Fini. This isn't that bad of a lead, even though we are a Dragon type into a Fairy type. But with our access to Acid, we're able to hit for super effective. And while our charge moves are both resisted, Aqua Tail, we can just spam it. They're going to go for move Nature's Madness, will not take me out. It'll get a defense debuff though. And now I'm going to be able to go for another Aqua Tail. I think with the added acid damage after this Aqua Tail, the 2 acids that I throw will get them into Aqua Tail range, so this will take him out. Aqua Tail takes him out, and then they send out Cobalion. I immediately pivot into Gliscor. The opponent sends out Skeleturge, so they are clearly not ready for Ground type in the back. I think they were probably running ABB with the weakness to Ground in the back, and I destroyed their 1 Ground type counter, so now Gligar and Gliscor should be able to have a lot of fun with this team. I'm going to throw another Night Slash. I have an Earthquake. Opponent might feel inclined to shield. They do shield, and now we get a boost. At this point, Gliscor, Torch Song will get shielded, and the opponent sends out Cobalion. This is a double boosted Earthquake. Their Cobalion will not survive this. Goodbye, Cobalion. We get the screenshot as well. And I make a pretty big mistake. Like, it's not a game-losing mistake. It's just a bozo mistake, where I immediately send it in Gligar. Gligar is just going to get fully farmed down here. And I throw away the boost that I had on my Gliscor. I could have made it to a boosted Night Slash with the Gliscor, and that would have probably put them into a range where I could do enough damage. But thankfully this game's still a win, because I can just send out Dragalge, force them to throw, because I'd be able to make it to an Aqua Tail before they farm me down. Gliscor has a Night Slash, and we'll be able to take that game, but it was a bit closer than it had to be because of that mistake I made. We see Alola and Ninetales on the lead in the next battle. If they're on Powder Snow, it's bad, so thankfully they're on Charm. It's really weird to say thankfully they're on Charm, but it's neutral here. Well, the Powder Snow would be super effective, so it's actually better that they're on Charm. They're going to go for a move here. I'm going to shield it, hopefully get a full farm down, pray that my energy is useful in the back. And yeah, we're going to get the full farm down. Gets Dragalge pretty low though, and then they send out Mamoswine. I'm going to immediately pivot into Gliscor. I then proceed to throw an alignment because I'm terrible at timing one-turn moves after a switch. Opponent, they're going to have an Avalanche right after because of that. I'm just going to let it go. Thinking maybe it's an Ancient Power bait. No, it's an Avalanche. Goodbye. And the opponent, they have Tentacruel in the back though, so Gligar maybe has some play. I proceed to throw an alignment again, because I'm terrible at timing moves with one-turn switches. And the opponent is going to be able to go for a move. Scald won't take me out. It'll hit like a truck, but it won't take me out. And now I'm going to go for an Aerial Ace bait. Aerial Ace, hopefully they shield this, because if they don't, it's going to be bad. They don't shield it, but I'm going to go for another Aerial Ace. This probably will get a shield, because I could snipe them with an Aqua Tail after. So they do shield. They send out Mamoswine, and I think that Mud Slap that goes through does too much damage. It does, and now I'm going to go for an Aqua Tail. It'll take him out, but I will get farmed down before I make an Outrage, and they're not an Aqua Tail range. Aqua Tail will be able to get them pretty low, but Gligar just does not have enough health. They're at a move here. I think they're actually at 100 energy here, and yeah, they are. They're at back-to-back Scalds, and that's not good. They're going to be able to take me out with a Scald, and we do lose that game. We see a Guzzlord on the lead in the next battle. We've seen this lead before. I'm just going to immediately send in Gliscor. Fury Cutter hits for a good lot of damage, especially with it being super effective. Opponent's going to go for a move here. This probably is a Crunch. Crunch won't take me out. They're going to go for the Crunch, doesn't take me out, and now they're going to send out a Gardevoir. Now I have a ton of energy here. They're probably going to want a shield, so I'm going to go for a Night Slash bait. They do shield. Now I'll be able to make it to an Earthquake. Earthquake won't take them out. They're not a Shadow, but it'll hit for a ton of damage anyways. Now, I'm going to send out Dragalge, get 2 acids, that actually gets the farm down. And if they send out Guzzlord again, I'm going to send out Gligar. Gligar, with its access to Fury Cutter, like Gliscor, is going to be able to hit for some very nice fast move damage. They go for a Crunch, it's a CMP time, I'm going to be able to go for an Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace will actually grab a shield. Not entirely sure why they did that. They're going to farm up a bit, and then send out Skeleturge, probably trying to catch an Aerial Ace. I'm going to go for a Dig. Dig will get them into the yellow, and at this point, Dragalge will be able to make it to an Aqua Tail. Aqua Tail will be able to get them very close to being taken out, but it's not going to fully take them out. I have shields here, might as well use them. Opponent goes for a Disarming Voice, and I'm just going to get a farm down. They send back out their Guzzlord, and I can tank any move here, so this move, I'm not afraid. Even if it's a Dragon Claw, which Is it? It isn't. Dragon Claw wouldn't take me out. I'm going to go for an Outrage, severely undercharge it, but it still takes him out, and we are able to take that game. Into the next battle and final battle, and we see Malamar on the lead. Pretty bad lead. I'm going to send out Gliscor, and you can see these Fury Cutters begin to tear Malamar apart. Opponent sends out Lapras. Lapras is really bad for this team. Like, terrible for this team. I don't know why, but I didn't see many of it. But, yeah. Lapras, it's going to be terrible for this team to play against. They're going to go for Sparkling Aria. Doesn't take me out, but it does get me pretty low. Psywave damage should be able to farm me down, so I'm just going to have to go for a Night Slash. Night Slash gets no shielded, and now I'm going to have to send out Dragalge. I have to commit a shield here because it's an Ice Beam that'll hit for huge damage. I get Sparkling Aria, though, because of course, and they're going to make it to another move here. I'm going to let this one go, and it is the Ice Beam this time, which is great. Now it's basically just up to Gligar to finish this match. Opponent sends out Malamar. I don't know why I went for an Aqua Tail here. I'm not making another move, so thankfully they shield it, so my misplay doesn't matter, but yeah. They're going to send out the Malamar. They have the Malamar out, sorry, and they're going to go for Foul Play. Foul Play won't take me out. You can see Fury Cutters are doing a ton of damage to Malamar. They're going to go for a Foul Play, and I have to commit a shield, and it's Corviknight in the back. We're walled, and we lose that game. Overall, I think the buff to Fury Cutter certainly helped Gligar because it's able to have a lot more fast move pressure that it didn't have before, especially when Fury Cutter is super effective. But it also is fun to just have the ABB ground flying type without having to use something like Landorus, because most people, they're not actually expecting a second ground flying type, because Gliscor is really the only one that people even consider using, because, you know, Landorus, it's only really good in the Master League. But having Gligar here can catch a lot of people off guard. And as you can see, a lot of people were weak to Gliscor, and once they took it out, they still had another Pokemon that was weak to it, which was very cool. Now, I would not recommend using Dragalge on this team, if anything. Like, if you're going to run this team, first of all, I probably wouldn't even max out the Gligar anyways. I don't think it's worth it. But if you're going to decide to invest in that and you want to run this team, I'd suggest using something besides Dragalge on the lead. I don't know what, but I can't recommend this team very well. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.